ano lang, no? It's really out of concern ng presiding officer kasi I think nakikita niya yung hirap ng bawat panig na magsalita. And even for the impeachment court spokesperson, it's very difficult rin to speak on matters before the media because understandably, the media would want to ask more and understand more, and that's really your job, and we understand that. Pero on the part of the spokespersons, because of the rules, nahihirapan din kami kahit gusto naming sagutin directly yung mga tanong nyo, dahil naiintindihan naman namin, nahihirapan din kami. And to be quite frank with you, when I say I cannot answer that, actually, I don't feel good about saying that, no? Kasi I know that I'm not giving you material, for example. Good afternoon, everyone. At least mas maaga tayo today. Sige, I have to rush to another meeting. So, if you could start with your questions. Yes, Ma'am Katrina.
Presiding Officer Cheese Escudero's suggestion to appoint a new spokesperson who is not covered by the trials.
It's something that I will have to consult the client about. I'll have to consult the vice president if that is something that she will be amenable to. Of course, we really appreciate yung advice ng ating presiding officer. As you all know, nahihirapan ako, and I think pati kayo, nahihirapan kayo sa akin. And in fairness to Attorney Tolosa, he's also being very careful. Kaya nga nag-usap kaming dalawa. Akala namin marereprimanda kaming dalawa kanina. Thankfully, hindi naman. And thankfully, the presiding officer saw that we have been trying our best to be very careful in media interviews. So this is something that I cannot decide by myself. It will be something that I will have to talk to the Vice President about and hear her thoughts on the matter. And if ever, then we'll let you know. And kung meron nun bago na magtatayong spokesperson, definitely, we'll definitely introduce him or her to the media. No?
We talk to the Vice President, 30% pros and cons of issues. And what is your appreciation? Would you recommend having another spokesperson or retaining the post for yourself?
Okay. If I were to talk, or if I were to actually give you my personal sentiments, of course it's been, and I'm sure you can see that, it's very difficult for me because it's quite time consuming to do the legal work. Yun pa lang, medyo it's time consuming na, no? Parati kong sinasabi, wala na kaming weekends. But aside from that, as you know, I also have to accommodate interviews because it's also very important na maintindihan ng mga kababayan natin kung ano yung nagaganap sa impeachment court on a day-to-day basis. So in that sense, I think the pro would at least be I will be able to focus more on either the legal or the spokesperson work depending on what the Vice President would want. The cons would probably be my familiarity already with all of you, your familiarity with me, no, and of course my familiarity with the client. And probably another con would be yung, syempre, kung may spokesperson na hindi part ng legal team per se, meaning hindi direktang nagpa-participate sa aming discussions, I will also have to manage that aspect. So, syempre, you will also have to, in a way, brief the spokesperson on what's going on and what he or she can say and cannot say. So, yun yung tricky part talaga if we're talking about spokespersons kasi you'll have to manage another person also aside from managing the legal tasks.
Vice President will give you a choice. What should you think?
Right now, I think ako naman, I'll just do whatever the Vice President instructs.
If she gives you a choice.
I cannot say for sure. But I'm more of a lawyer, as you know. I even when I joined DepEd before, I was really more comfortable with the legal rather than spokesperson duties. But again, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, whatever she thinks is best and whatever I can do to contribute to help, in this impeachment proceeding, I'm willing to do either because I've been spokesperson for in different capacities for the past, I think, 4 years. So I'm okay with any.
Would you know, attorney, ano yung trigger ng suggestion?
Wala naman. I think the presiding officer, ma'am, was, before I continue, people always tell me na hindi daw narinig yung mga tanong niya. So baka we can, okay na. Okay. So yes, I think ano lang no, it's really out of concern ng presiding officer kasi I think nakikita niya yung hirap ng bawat panig na magsalita. And even for the impeachment court spokesperson, it's very difficult rin to speak on matters before the media because understandably, the media would want to ask more and understand more, and that's really your job, and we understand that. Pero on the part of the spokespersons, because of the rules, nahihirapan din kami kahit gusto naming sagutin directly yung mga tanong nyo, dahil naiintindihan naman namin, nahihirapan din kami. And to be quite frank with you, when I say I cannot answer that, actually, I don't feel good about saying that, no? Kasi I know that I'm not giving you material, for example. So probably if you would ask me, of course, I can only speculate. Probably best to ask the presiding officer himself, but I could see that it was out of genuine concern because as the trial progresses, you never know. One of us might slip, and one of us might be, or even both of us might be cited in contempt, and none of us would want that.
Even yung deputy spokesperson po is part of the council, so mapapalitan din po if ever.
Right now, yes, yung in fact, parang we're trying to ease him in pa lang, no? Part din siya ng legal team. So if ever man maging ang direction is really get a spokesperson that's not part of the lawyers appearing, then mapapalitan din, unfortunately. But again, I don't want to preempt the decision of our principal. And the presiding officer naman was very clear. So hindi naman siya directive. So kung pipiliin namin na hindi magbago at kami at ako pa rin, for example, yung tatay yung spokesperson, and at the same time I do the legal work, meaning the oral arguments, the cross-examination, direct whatsoever, then we will just have to assume that risk na baka may risk of contempt at some point. No, hopefully wala naman, but we'll see. It's something I have to talk to the vice president.
This cross-examination, nakuha pa ninyo yung targets, nailatag pa ninyo sa public yung gusto nyo ipaabot sa mga senator judges sa Senate.
Opo, as you noticed, hindi ganun kahaba yung naging cross-examination namin today because as we committed, we only wanted a continuance for the new matters like yung Las Cañas statement. Again, I'm calling it a statement kasi under Philippine law, no, pag hindi naman siya notarized, hindi naman siya rightfully an affidavit. But yun lang naman ang gusto naming ipunto, and then some other sub-matters. Kaya even before, nung bago kami pumasok sa sa court or sa session hall, nag-usap na rin kami ni Attorney Binluan, and we were talking about what questions to ask, and we were convinced it would have been a very short cross-examination.
Sir, we ask for your comment dun sa sinabi po ng Representative Terry Lito na hindi po napiba ng defense team si Attorney Manalo.
Well, as I always say, the prosecution is entitled to their own position. We may or may not agree with them, but it will be up to the appreciation of the Honorable Court. Sa atin, ayaw nating sagutin head-on yung mga ganyang comments because they're entitled to do so. At kahit naman kami, sometimes we also say our position at ayos naman, no? So we just respect each other. So I will not. Sa akin, if that's their position, that's their position. Siyempre sa amin, meron kaming targets, and sa tingin namin, na-achieve namin yung targets namin. Now, whether yung natibag or hindi natibag, it will depend on the court.
Sir,
In fairness to the witness also.
Kahapon po nabanggit nasagot ni Representative Ridon yung about sa resignation ni Sara, meron din personal knowledge about that, sir.
Ano po ba yung nasabi? Hindi ko kasi narinig.
Kasi meron daw mga sabi-sabi na early signs yung Sara. But sabi ni Representative Representative Ridon, huwag siyang mag-resign dahil papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part.
Well, sa amin, hindi ko nasasagutin yung comment ni Representative Ridon because again, he's entitled to his own opinion, and I respect his opinion, whether it be for us or against us. But yung sa amin naman po, never pa namin napag-usapan ng ating Vice Presidente yung resignation. So I don't think we even have to discuss that issue.
Sir, merong letter, support letter si VP Sara kay Senate President Gatchalian na hinihiling niya na sagutin daw ng Senate yung pagkain at yung ng staff and
Correct.
legal team. Can you confirm that at kung pinayagan ba?
I cannot, well, I can confirm na wala namang pinapayagan yata na ganun as far as I know, but I cannot dwell on the details kasi that is an OVP letter and the defense team has no participation in that letter. So baka best directed to the Office of the Vice President kasi di naman kami kasama dun sa pagpupulong at wala kaming any participation pagdating doon. So again, I'm sorry. I wish I could give you more details pero hindi kasi talaga ako naging involved doon.
Kaya may sulat na ganun si VP, sir, para ba sa security nyo or
Well, perhaps concern definitely for the defense team, hindi ba? But as to kung ano yung mga detalye talaga na napag-usapan kasi as far as I understand it, nagkaroon ng pagpupulong, I think, between Secretary Bantug and the OVP. I'm not sure. Maybe you can confirm that. Yun lang yung nakita ko sa balita. And nung prior to an interview, I remember asking a staff of the OVP. I was not reaching out to Yusek Lopez because she was going to be a witness dapat kung natandaan nyo, last week, I think. So I was very cautious not to reach out to her kasi baka sabihin we're tampering with the witness, no? So, ang kinuusap ko was a staff and ang sabi lang sa akin was administrative yung naging pagpupulong and aside from that, wala na akong details kung napayagan or kung ano yung mga naging parameters ng pinag-usapan. So, probably either ask OVP or maybe Secretary Bantug.
Pero right now, okay naman yung food and beverage ninyo dyan sa panel mo.
Okay naman, but I don't know, I don't think it's being supplied by the Senate. Yun yung ko.
Attorney, still on the impeachment trial, natapos na po yung presentation ng defense of their witnesses para po dito sa Article 4. On the part of the defense po, ano po ang assessment niyo sa naging, pag-defend po kay Vice President Sara Duterte? In the 9-day po ba, na-hit niyo po ba lahat ng target? At sa tingin niyo po ba enough yun para po mag-cast ng doubt dito sa evidence in chief ng prosecution?
Well, sa amin, we really had targets and we've hit the targets, but is it enough to cast doubt? Iwan ko na lang yan sa impeachment court and of course mga nanonood sa atin. But tandaan natin, what we have been doing, we're merely cross-examining, no, yung witnesses. Wala pa tayo dun sa part na kami naman yung magprepresenta ng ebidensya namin para makita niyo yung kabuuan ng depensa ng Vice Presidente, which again, I cannot discuss at this point.
Attorney, going back sa impeachment trial kanina and yesterday, is there a thing or is there something na nakakapagpabago or nakapagpabago ng stand ng defense na from the sinabi ni Attorney Melvin Matibag? And meron po ba kayong possible na gagawing motion or magbabago po ba kayo ng strategy?
Wala po. Wala naman kami nakitang incompatibility dun sa mga lumabas na mga informasyon. Karamihan po dun narinig na rin kasi natin sa Committee on Justice. And in fairness to Director Matibag, he was answering din naman directly the questions. And so sa amin, ang assessment namin from his testimony yesterday, not just his testimony, but even the testimonies of the other witnesses, consistent naman siya sa ina-anticipate natin. So wala po kaming pagbabago sa aming teorya, kumbaga ng kaso. At mapapakita namin yun once it's our time to present.
Your preparation for the next trial, Attorney, since medyo mahaba-haba po yung...
Well, ano lang kami, tuloy-tuloy lang po kami kung we'd like to thank the prosecution also because sumusunod talaga sila sa naging kasunduan na nagbibigay sila ng names ng witnesses for the next setting. So in that case, tuloy-tuloy lang naman yung preparation natin. Although these witnesses naman have all been stated in the pre-trial briefs of each party, and as well as in the pre-trial order. So may initial na paghahanda na tayong nagawa doon. So fine-tuning na lang po tayo, if ever.
May mga senators na nag-file ng manifestation against dun sa pagsubpina ng bank records, tax records ni BBM na 30 months cargo. Ano pong tingin dito ng depensa?
Well, sa atin, alam naman natin na may kanya-kanya tayong opinion sa magandang mga argumento on both sides. And, both sides had their points. And so kung meron mang mga nag-manifest, of course, and syempre, hindi ko naman ikakaila na papasalamat din ako dun sa mga nag-agree dun sa points na inilatag natin. But nonetheless, we still, have to maintain that the ruling of the presiding officer, dahil wala namang nag-object, is the ruling of the court, and we have to respect that. Pagdating naman dun sa, kasi I'm sure ang susunod na tanong dyan is kung meron na bang desisyon pag iakyat sa Supreme Court. Sa totoo po, wala pa. We're still weighing things and seeing if we should even go up. So sa ngayon, hindi ko pa kayo mabibigyan ng diretsyang sagot kung may plano o wala. Dahil talagang kahit ako mismo, kahit ako personally, pinag-iisipan ko pa.
Malaking bagay ba ng mga senator judges na kakaroon pa ng resto na ganito?
At least alam natin na meron naman naging, well, kasi kung may ibang tao that will share our position, at least maintindihan, makikita natin na may naging basihan naman yung mga nabigkas natin or na discuss natin ng oral arguments. So, kung malaking bagay or hindi, at the end of the day, what counts is the ruling of the court. But we'd like to thank, of course, everyone who supported our position also.
Pero may balikan ko lang yung last kanya sa affidavit. Mabigat yung pinabanggit doon laban kay Vice President Sara. Ano yung kailangan maintindihan ng publiko? Bakit sinasabi na walang kredibilidad yung affidavit?
Well, sa amin, ang point lang namin doon, but again, it's very hard, no? Because I don't want to argue against the prosecution here. But siguro, factually na lang kung anong pinoint out ng defense through, of course, Attorney Benluan, because he was the one on deck, is that while there is a narration, first of all, the document is not notarized. It was signed, although we don't know who signed it, if it was in fact Mr. Las Cañas or not. And plus, yung witness naman that testified was not of the capacity, did not have the personality to really authenticate, identify that document since hindi naman po si Director Matibag yung nag-execute nun. No? And I think, to be fair to the prosecution also mentioned naman kung ano lang yung purpose kung bakit nailabas yun, no? Yung document. It was, I think, to show that it was part of the process ng NBI, etc. But yun lang po yun. Kasi sa amin, before something is considered an affidavit, has to be notarized. Dapat sinumpaan mo yan, di ba, at the pain of perjury.
Salamat po. Yung question lang. Any comment po doon sa mga pumupuna sa tweet ni Vice President Sara Duterte in the middle of the impeachment trial? Sabi ni Congressman Benny Abante kanina, it constitutes betrayal of public trust. So, comment on that?
We will not comment on that na po. Unang-una, may nakasalang na impeachment case. So, I don't think it's proper for us to comment on that. And also not appropriate for me to comment on the comments of the good congressman. Plus, I'm not the spokesperson of the Vice President, but spokesperson of the defense team.
Salamat po. Thank you so much, Mother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.